Hello you guys, it's your favorite kangaroo, filling in for Love EandULT, obviously. I have decided to do this very creative thing, which is I'm going to be rating all E and ULTs in League of Legends. So every single 154 champions apparently of all their E and ULTs, which ones are good, which ones are crappy, which ones are disgraceful, which ones are boring, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be judging every single champion's E and ULT combo because, as you know, you can't just play Katarina every single game. If you decide to go on draft pick or ranked matches, or if you're an LCS player maybe, I mean, Katarina has a chance to be banned, and you know, there are actually sick people out there that will ban her. And you're going to have to fill for someone who is, I mean, definitely nowhere's near as good as Katarina's E and ULT combo, but you sure as hell can pick someone that has a pretty decent one at best. So, we're here today to judge every single champion and their ugliness, I mean, their combo-ness. I mean, are they very compatible for E and ULT players, or are they just crappy, basically? For the tiers, we have E and ULT, which obviously no one will even be here except Katarina. So, I mean, that's the best tier you can be, and there's no one who's even going to be here with Katarina, sadly. She's not going to have no sister or little brother, E and ULT to take care of. You know, there's just not, that doesn't exist, sadly, in League of Legends. But, we have good picks here, which there will be quite a few. I don't think there will be a lot, but there will definitely be quite a few champions that will go here that you can safely pick, that they are very viable options for E and ULT players. You have Nice Slice. I mean, they're okay. They're pretty good. You know, they're good-ish, I guess is the word for it. They're well, actually, they're a little bit better than good-ish, but they are, I mean, they're not as, I mean, if you really want to get, you know, funky, maybe you're playing a little intro to bots or something, if you want to pick these champions and just be like, you know what, somehow I'm bored of E and ulting, which is like almost impossible, but like, okay, let's just theoretically say if you were, well, you could pick Nice Slice champions if you really, really want to, okay? If you want to have some fun, some casual little fun, like little bitches, then yeah, you could pick these champions right here. And there's going to be, I think, a good amount that goes into Nice Slice. The next tier, Cool Pool. Now this is like they are, I mean, I guess they're okay to look at. You never really want to pick them, but you know what? They're just kind of like, they're slightly better than average. So they're kind of like a, I don't know. I mean, isn't B average? I don't know. So they're kind of like a B plus or something. You know, you don't really like care about them that much. You don't care if they exist or not. Like, who cares? I mean, if they ban these champions, if they just killed off these champions in the lore, who dare gives a crap? You know. There's the Cool Pool for you. Whatever is self-explanatory. I don't even know if I have to say that. They're just very average. They're plain. They're dull. They're boring. Who cares about them? Why would you play them? Worthless picks, in my opinion. I mean, I might be getting a little extreme there. I haven't even gotten to the negative colors yet. Quite honestly, it's just like, it's whatever. I mean, these champions, if you see them in game, they're okay, you know, to face against. Maybe they just have a really boring combo with E and ULT or something like that. Wannabes are the ones that try to be E and ULT, like ones that are like Katarina, or maybe some, like, they kind of act like good picks here, or, you know, Katarina. They're just so wannabe-ish, it's disgusting. Like, you don't want to pick a wannabe. Like, you have plenty of other picks to choose from before you get all the way down to wannabe. Don't play wannabe champions, I'm begging you, please. And quite honestly, it's just don't. There's absolutely no pro to pick any champion other than E and ULT, to be honest. But, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, some of them have a bit more cons than others, but you definitely don't want to be a wannabe in your games, because that is a reportable offense last time I checked. So please don't be going around being a little wannabe. No one likes wannabes, and that's just, sadly, that's how it is. Ew-ish, I mean, again, pretty self-explanatory, very ew, it's ish, it's like ew-ish, I guess, in a sense, you know, it's pretty yucky. Don't be picking these champions either, because they're just, their E and ULT combo either just doesn't work, it's crappy, it's gross to look at. It's something's wrong with it. Obviously, there's something wrong with these champions, and they probably need to do a lot of changes to them in order for them to be viable for E and ULT players. Obviously, doo again. I don't know if that's self-explanatory to a lot of you guys, but if you don't know what doo is, it's basically shit. It's literally shit staying on the planet. Why pick these? I don't know. I mean, unless you're into scat or something, which is really gross. No offense, but it's oh gosh, it's like seeing two cowgirls wrestle around for a chicken pot pie. That's how bad doo-doo champs are. Do not pick these champions. Their E and ult are just, it's, their combos shouldn't exist. They shouldn't exist in general. But we haven't even got to the worst tier yet. The worst tier is disgrace! When there, there are quite a few disgraceful champions where they don't even have an E ability. They might not have an ult ability. Maybe their ult is really crappy. It doesn't do anything. Or their E is really crappy. It doesn't do anything. It's bullcrap. Why did Riot make these champions? They literally actually pissed me off. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. Why do they have that in League of Legends? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, Riot has to do something about it, or quite honestly, I think E and ULT players will be erased from the game because these champions are disgusting. And some of these are very recent champion designs that they've made up, and it's just, I mean, what are they thinking? They're actually, like, losing it. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, the balance team sucks and the design team sucks. What about, like, the E and ULT combo team? Like, do they even have one? I mean, they really need to start assigning one because it's really becoming problematic. I'm sick of all those disgraceful little pieces of crap running around Summoner's Rift thinking they own everything just because they don't have an E and ult ability or combo. Like, we can't even touch them. E and ult players can't even touch them. It's not fair. It's literally not fair. I gotta calm down or I'm gonna get really crazy in a minute. But yeah, so, I mean, there's that for you. Like, I know I'm getting a lot of my energy out pretty early. You know, I mean, I'm going to have to save it for, you know, certain problematic champions that I'm just going to have a tantrum over. But, you know, I mean, just warning for that now, you know. I know I'm being a little bit of a crazy kangaroo, but that's just how it be sometimes. But without further ado, let us start, and we will be going in alphabetical order. Aatrox, sadly, is a little boring piece of crap. Because he dashes and then he he spreads his wings, which is pretty cool, like a butterfly, and starts flying. Not referencing Mariah Carey, by the way. Like, I mean, I am, but not really. But it's just, I don't know. It doesn't do anything if you like dash to them. It doesn't do damage, so it's kind of boring. Your ult, I mean, you just spread your wings, like I said, and you just kind of sit there. You move faster. It's just whatever. It's kind of boring. But it's not really disgusting. It doesn't give me feelings of hate. And like I said, it's kind of cool to look at. It's not really great. So I'm kind of conflicted where to place Aatrox. He's a very conflicting one. He doesn't give me negative emotions. So I'm assuming that means he's like maybe whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's just whatever. Because maybe if it did damage, or if it like killed people it went through or something, like where he dashed through, you know, maybe it would be something that could be improved. I don't know. So Ari blows a kiss and, you know, flies away like a little whore. And quite honestly, that doesn't really seem that fun in reality to like to play as, and it's definitely not fun to play versus as. It's disgusting. It's a gross combo. You know, like it just makes you feel like you're playing versus someone who is shy at life. And, you know, I mean, I'm pretty shy, but it's just, RE players just, like, put it out there, you know, like, hey, I'm a shy little bitch, and I'm gonna run away. And it's like, why would you do that? It's just, it's dumb. So, I'm gonna put her in EU-ish, because obviously she's kind of getting me, you know, like, getting a little bit of negative emotions from me. Akali is actually a good pick here. And the reason for this is that she has two options for E and ult combos. She can E, ult, E, ult. Or she can double E, so EE, and double ult, which is ult ult, you know? And it's actually very fun. I actually think Akali might even be second to Love EandULT by a long shot. I mean, obviously it's way far down, you know, it's like comparing 1 to 50. But, you know, I think she might actually be, because she has the most variety so far that I even see, like, in this whole list right here so far that I'm looking at, that she has the best variety. She has different combos of her E and ult. She has, it's just it's wonderful. I really appreciate it. But sadly, they keep nerfing her, so it might not be a good pick here in reality, but it's a definitely good pick for Love E and ULT players. Let me tell you that much. Alright, Alistar, I'm actually thinking it's doo-doo because I don't understand his E. I went on the training tool bot program and I pressed my E, and I don't know what it did, but it just looks like he's flinging actual bullshit all around him, and it's disturbing, to say the least. And quite honestly, like, I didn't know a champion flung doo doo at the game, so I mean, even though he might not be like giving me feelings of like, oh, he's, doo doo, and I'm just going absolutely, crazy on him because he's so disgusting on League. It's like, no, he actually deserves to be in doo doo tier because he literally flings doo doo all around him. Like, literally brown, cow, bullcrap all around him. Like, I'm not even joking. Play him for yourself, or, watch videos of him. He literally does it. I don't know what his E does. It might do, like, 1 damage or something, but it's just like, it's really silly. And then, like, his ult just makes him angry or something, and he becomes invulnerable. I don't know. It's a very boring combo. So, I mean, maybe if he didn't actually fling cow bullcrap, he'd be like where Aatrox is, I guess. Amumu is... he's really boring. I mean, there's just like, the problem with his E and ult combo is he doesn't like go in, like, if maybe if he had an ability that went in, like attached himself to the target and let him go in, and like, maybe that would work, if that was his E or something, but it's just not, and it's just, his E feels horrible. It does like negative 25 damage. He throws a little fit or something all around him, and then his ult is like, he summons like yellow weave from the ground, and it just roots everyone. I don't know. It's not fun to play as a Moo, and it's not fun to play as him, period. So, I think I'm going to put him in Ewish, because I am, like I said, exalting a bit of negative energy. So yeah. Anivia's really weird because, I mean, she is cool. Like, she's actually, like, chill. Because she's cold, bitch. But she, like, throws a rock of ice, and then she does this, like, swirling ice thing. Now, what I like about it, though, is that you can actually ult and then teleport while your ult is going off. So it's a really nice little niche thing. I don't know about the E and ult combo. The E and ult combo is whack. Like, it doesn't make much sense. But her ult combo is, like, I really like that little hidden effect of, oh, you can like ult while you're like, doing your long range teleport, and that you could use that to your advantage and outplay a lot of people, which E and ult players are known to do. So I'm gonna actually have to put Anivia in the cool pool tier because of her ult interaction. Now, is her E and ult combo really that great? No, but it's just that secret interaction that a lot of E and ult players can use to their advantage. Alright, Annie, honestly, I think she's probably either whatever or Ewish, because her E is really whack. It just gives her speed boosts and shields or something. Like, I liked her E before when it just was like a foreign mail. I'd rather have that E. And then her ult, she summons the little bear, the Berenstein bear, whatever she summons. I think it's whatever. I think she's whatever. She's not a wannabe, but she's definitely, I think, whatever in my opinion. So I will be placing her in the whatever tier. The bear is pretty cool. It reminds me of like a lot of bear shows growing up. It reminds me of the bear community. It's okay. Okay? I mean, it's whatever. So. Oh! Aphelios has to be probably the most disgusting champion, most atrocious, most worthless champion they've ever made in this freaking game. He doesn't have an E ability. That, like, he literally doesn't have it. He does not have a little square that says press E here. My E is called this, and this is the introduction of it all. And if I press E, it does damage, and it makes me prance around like a little bitch. No, he doesn't have it. He literally does not even have an E ability. Like, I don't, and this champion's like kind of new, like a year or two old, relatively new in a sense, compared to most champions on this list, and you mean to tell me that they forgot to implement his E ability? It's disgraceful. Like, it actually puts a really bad name attached to Riot Game. And a lot of people don't talk about it that much, but it bothers me as the E and ULT main that, and I mean, even Katarina, I mean, I'm sure Katarina just absolutely hates it. If I were to get in the game right now, she'd probably just keep saying,
My pleasure.
really mean
Let
quotes
the
to
bloodshed
Philios or
begin.
something,
Blood
like
for
she wants to kill him and
Noxus.
stuff. Because, I
Without
mean, it's just
mercy.
true.
I can't wait.
It's disturbing. I can't believe that.
If
It's
you
just,
run, you won't see me stab you.
okay, let's move on with it, because that's not the only disgraceful champion on this list. But I mean, that's probably, if not the worst, the most opposite of E and ULT you can get is not having an E. The next time they make a champion that doesn't have an E or an ULT, that's when that is the rival of Katarina, and we're just gonna have to just ban them all the time. Alright, Ashe is actually nice lice. Believe it or not, Ashe is actually nice lice because her E looks really cool, her ult looks really cool, it's all sparkles, all shine. It's just like, I don't know, it makes you want to like shine bright, shine far, and be a freaking star. Shine bright, don't be shy, be a star. It's cool looking. You can bait people if you're E, because a lot of people will be like, oh, that Ashe doesn't know what she's doing because she just E'd me all the time. And her E, I mean, it does do damage. Believe it or not, her E actually does, like, however much damage, 200 something. And it's a really fun combo to use as her E and ULT. At close range, obviously, not far away. That's boring. But like when they're like close range, because they just don't expect it. They do never expect an Ashe to E them directly and then ult right afterwards. You can even trick them into thinking, oh yeah, I'm actually a beginner and I don't know what I'm doing at all. And you're just gonna throw the hawk shot, and then you're gonna use the enchanted crystal arrow or whatever the heck it's called. If I'm right, I deserve $1 million, by the way. If I guess the name correctly. But it's very fun to play as Ashe, actually. Now, would I recommend playing her in a serious game setting for E and ULT players? Not too much, but she does have a skill requirement of just pure outplaying your enemy mentally, not even physically, just like you have to outplay them mentally in order to succeed with Ashe. Now, Aurelian Soul. Now, if we were talking about a different tier list, he would be S+, okay? Like, let's be real, that behind got some thickness to it, that kangaroo would be looking at that, but we're not. It's not that tier list. It's not a tier list of hotness and sexiness and stuff. It's a tier list of E and ULT combos. In Aurelian Soul, he flies around. He acts like a little, dumb blonde bottom. His way to Starbucks when, that's his E. And then his ULT, he gets pissy. He's like, hey, give me my Starbucks coffee! And it's just like, I mean, I guess it's cool to look at. And it is a relatable kind of champion. I mean, I've only went to Starbucks one time, believe it or not. But it's just, I think it's a little bit too gay for me. Sad to say it. He doesn't give me any negative energy, so I might put him in whatever. But I don't know. The fact that he represents the gay community so strongly, and he's also pretty hot, he has a big, huge ass, like, seriously. Like, gosh. Like, I'm assuming he has, like, the biggest ass in League, does he not? Like, let's be real. Like, in lore and everything. But, I don't know. His E, he's flying to Starbucks. His ult, he gets mad that that's not what he wanted. You put a little bit too much sugar in it. I'm gonna put him in Cool Pool. And I don't know if that's just bias or not. I honestly don't know. But, Really Soul, yeah, I'm gonna put him in Cool Pool. Now, Azir, another, like, I guess A tier in the hotness list. But Azir's just like, I think he's actually disgraceful because when I played him in the training thing, I was trying to press E. I was pressing E all the time and it wouldn't let me do anything. My E would not work. Now, I don't know if it's like Aphelios where I mean, he does it, he actually has a square that's like, oh yeah, my E, if you press my E, it does something. You know, I was too lazy to read it. But I'm assuming it does something at some point, but it's just like, what's the point if at like level 6, if I press E and then ult, it doesn't do anything? It's annoying. It's silly. I'm not going to put him in disgrace because he does actually have a box that has an E. You can actually E. You know, his ult works. He summons a wall of sandy whatevers at the enemy and flings them back, which is pretty cool looking. So I don't think he's disgraceful. He's pretty close to it though. If I ever try to play him again and his E doesn't work, I'm going to flip my crap. I will tell you that much. Bard is very weird because so his E makes him fly through rocks and stuff, which is okay. And then, but his ult, like, it looks like it would just one-shot people. And it looks like it does for like 2 or 3 seconds. They kind of like pause. It looks like they died. But then they come back to life. And it's just like, why would you want to revive your enemies after killing them? So your E ult combo, I mean, you like travel through it and then you ult them or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know. I think he's just whatever for me because he just, I mean, it's a unique way of E and ulting. I'll give him that. But he's just, I don't get the point of reviving your enemies. It like gives me a headache thinking about it. It's just, yeah, I don't like that at all. Blitzcrank. What is he? He like knocks people up and then silences them with this big electricity field. He's like, it's just boring. I don't know. Like, I mean, he just like runs up to people, you know, ghost or like uses his long range teleport, E's and then ults. It's just boring. Like, I don't know why anyone would play that champion for that reason. Brand, his E is like really crappy, isn't it? And then his ult like bounces between them and stuff. It's just like, but you want to assassinate people with E and ult combos, and it's like you can't assassinate them if there's two people there. So honestly, pretty ew-ish, I'm not gonna lie. Braum is, I think his E is the wall, ice wall, and he moves around, which is pretty cool looking. His ult is really nice, but he's more of a support Ian ult. He's not an assassin Ian ult, that's for sure. Um, it's still, like I said, it's nice to look at. He's a nice man. He's likes Poros, which is pretty decent, but it's like his E doesn't do damage, his ult barely does any damage, and it's just like he's a support version of Katarina. And I don't know what to think of that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I am going to put that in whatever because I'm pretty indecisive of, oh, is it cool pool or is it a wannabe? Or ewish. I really don't know. It's one of those or whatever. So I'm just going to put it in whatever because I really don't know. Caitlyn, she flings herself back. She says, screw you all. And then she snipes and headshots. It looks really cool. Caitlyn is a cool pool for sure because I like how she flies herself back with this net thing like she's part of the Matrix. And then she's like, hey, you're gonna die. And then she ults. And then she headshots. Like a boom headshot. And it's really cool, in my opinion. It's fun to play as Caitlyn, that's for sure. You know, in like normals and stuff, I wouldn't play her for real, like in you know serious games. But Caitlyn is one of the peak of cool pools, in my opinion. She's very teetering into being into nice life, that's for certain. So we're gonna be putting her in cool pool. Camille is really, really, really cool, but it's just like I don't understand her ult because she does a really cool maneuver and then it just makes the field around them. Her E is one of the most unique E's in the game, in my opinion. So that alone makes her, I think, gets her out of the negative tier. Her ult looks really damn spicy, but it just doesn't do damage. It's just underwhelming. That's my problem. I like how her ult isolates people and, you know, you can try to assassinate someone for like half a second. But other than that, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, she's not really giving me much positive energy other than her E, and then her ult kind of brings her down. So I think she's probably in whatever. Alright, Cassiopeia. Okay, so she's like a machine gun snake, right? She's like a machine gun Medusa. Her E is very underwhelming. Because her E, like if you just do a single E and then ult, her E might as well heal them. Like, she's like a Soraka, but for the enemy. So it's like if you play her, you're actually putting your team into a disadvantage, and I don't understand that. Her ult is, you know, Medusa clone bullcrap. You know, Cassiopeia could do it much better if they just made her more E and ULT friendly. Maybe even kangaroo friendly, because I know snakes don't like kangaroos. Or else snakes don't like freaking anything. So, you know what? Cassiopeia, you're freaking ew-ish until you get a rework or something. Come back to me when you got something new. Alright, Cho'Gath is really boring. Like, really, really boring. Like, to the point where it's actually ew-ish, in my opinion. Throws spikes on every auto. Like, who the heck has time to, like, auto-attack 50 times with him? Like, he's just this big, fat monster thing. And then his ult, of course, comforts the, like, Vor furry community, which is also just, I don't understand, you know. No hate, you know, just discriminating, you know, but it's like, I don't know, that's pretty ew-ish in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be as offensive as to say it's a doo-doo. Because it's not quite there. It's almost though. Oh gosh. Alright, Corky. Little tiny hag Corky. Okay, so his E is Gatling gun is pretty it's pretty to look at. It's nice. It's fun to E and, you know, shoot all these bullets around. But what at the end of the day, you know, I like how his ult is on low cooldown, but it doesn't do crap. His E is such a short range thing, and his ult is a long range snipe ability that doesn't do crap. And it's like, why would you put those two abilities together, Riot Games? Like, can you please just explain it to me? Please! Oh gosh, I don't know where to put him. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to put him in Ewish because it's hilarious how bad that is. Like, what kind of concept were they thinking, making this hag on a helicopter? Holy crap! Oh boy, baby back boy. Okay, Darius, he uses his little apprehend thing and then his broken ult, but really his E and ult combo actually sucks because he tries to execute people, but then, I mean, you have to like auto Q, W, auto in order to like even do damage on your ult. So it's just like Ewish to also play as Darius. And honestly, I feel like whatever and Ewish are going to be very, very popular places. Okay? Like, very popular. Diana is very interesting because her E is just like weird because you have to Q first, which I don't like adding inputs to my combos. My combo is original, E and ult, that's it. Why would I have to Q and then E and then ult and then E and then W? It's just, it's too much to remember and no one has time for that. We're not waiters, we're not waitresses, we don't need to memorize 50 freaking orders without writing them down. It's just, and the fact is of the matter is her ult is also this like AoE thing, and it makes me feel like Diana is definitely our first wannabe. It's just like, you know, she's kind of like an AP assassin, like Katarina. She E's, she ults, and then it's just like, I mean, you have to add all these weird combos and stuff that she should just screw off with. And then maybe if she screwed off with all these freaking combos, maybe she'd be a good pick here, because that's just what it is. I don't know what else to say. Draven E and ult combo is really atrocious because he knocks people out of your ult, really. It's just, it's silly. I mean, even I know, like, I mean, I've watched Tyler 1 before. You always, like, ult before you E, right? Or something. I don't know. It's pretty doo-doo because you're kind of, like, screwing yourself over. And that's, like, real talk here. Because you're literally, like, getting them away from your ult. Mundo. Pre-rework, even. I don't know what his rework is, because we're not at that time yet. But, really, really boring. I mean, his E, he just, like, bangs his head on an enemy, which is just abusive, in my opinion. Like, very much domestic abuse. It's pretty gross, actually. I don't know how this purple, blue-tongued, ugly freak is going to be capable of doing that. Like, why would anyone even want to be with him anyway? No offense. But, and then his ult just makes him, like, run a little faster and heals him. It's just boring. I mean, I don't think he's... I don't know. Actually, because he does abuse people, he is pretty ewish. I wasn't put him in whatever, but yeah, domestic abuse is not okay, obviously. Echo. Broken little Echo. So, his E makes him dash, and then he autos, it does bonus damage, And then he flies back in time, like Max Caulfield, except less cooler. But it's more broken, and it's on a lower cooldown. And he has no drawbacks for just constantly spamming it. It's really disgusting. I'm kind of like ranting over facing him rather than playing him though. So let's just focus on playing him. His E and ULT combo is like really weird because you E and then you go back in time like and pretend that nothing happened. In my opinion, that's disgraceful. You should always be proud of going in with your E's. Because if you E with Echo and then ult, you're basically saying, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Every single E and ult is supposed to be filled with confidence and inspire other people to do the same. And that's the one fault that is extreme fault for Echo that screws it all up. Screws his whole mentality up of, hey, I'm going to go in, but I'm going to go back in time. And especially when the cooldown of that so-called ult is like on a 2-second cooldown. Disgusting, disgraceful, get him out of here, get him out of my life, I don't want to see him ever again. Elise is actually, like, if she actually had an ult, she would be actually probably nice slice, okay? But the thing is her ult doesn't really do anything other than switch forms. So any kind of person that switches forms and they don't really have an ult, it's probably going to be put in doo-doo. Because it's like you don't have an ult ability. You're not as disgraceful as Aphelios as you can actually press your ult. I think Elise is definitely doo-doo tier. But if they gave her ult and then she switched while doing the ult, like doing damage around her, and then she turned back into a spider, and then she flew in the air and came back down, and then she ulted again, and her human form exploded her in like spider semen, whatever. I don't know what I just said. Ignore that, please! Evelyn, she uses her little like strap-ons on her back or whatever they're called, like little straps, cape thing. She like whips people with it, and then she like ults away. I think that's also doo-doo. It's not as bad as Echo because at least she does damage before she dips, right? But she does E, like whip them, goes into them, and then she's like, bye! And it's not as bad as Echo, that's for sure, but it's definitely kind of a very similar concept. It has the same main idea, which is, oh, oops, I didn't mean to E. I didn't mean to do that, sir. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I'm out of here. And it's just like, no. Be confident in your E's, please. Like, seriously, your E and ULT combos are supposed to be your life, and you're not giving me life. Ezreal, ew. His E and ULT combo like leaves him vulnerable. He does a disgusting scream while doing it. It's atrocious to look at. It's not cool to look at Ezreal at all. Not particularly a fan of fuckboys or anything like that. Like fuckboys are kingphobic. I'm gonna put him in U-ish, I guess. Because at least this Ezreal, like usually if you're gonna play him for E and ULT purposes, you're probably gonna go in with your E and not use your E as like a little escape route emergency button. You're going to be using it to go in. So I guess that makes him U-ish and not doo-doo. But for the most part, it's too disgusting to look at, especially if they have like Battle Academia skin or the Pulse Fire bull crap or whatever other skins they're giving him. It's really ugly. It's too ugly for the game. It ruins the aesthetic and the atmosphere and the environment of the game by seeing him E and ULT, honestly, or any of his abilities for that matter. In fact, him just walking on the planet Earth is just enough. Like, we don't need no more than that, okay? Fiddlesticks. His E is the little silence thing, and his ult is a scary bullcrap. It's really kind of crappy, because it leaves him vulnerable, just like Ezreal, and he's also really scary to look at. He doesn't look like he's kangaroo friendly. Why would he ever go to a petting zoo for kangaroo and, like, love on kangaroos? He would not. He'd be eating them. Like, he's more friendly to probably dingoes or something, which is not kangaroo friendly as well. He's probably allies with them. So, as a purple kangaroo, I do not like that. I don't like Fiddlesticks at all, and I don't think I ever will. Alright, Fiora. Her E makes her strike real quick for like 2 attacks, and then her ult, I don't know, it makes you run fast around them, and then you have to hit all the procs, or like the vital things, and it does a little bit of damage, it doesn't do that much, and then it somehow, if the target dies, or like, if the enemy dies, it'll heal you and allies, which is just like, it's like, why? Why make her into support? That's my problem. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me, and it's also really hard to do all that stuff. Like it takes a really mega pro like pretty much a scripting person or like a hacker person in order to actually play her. So, I mean, she's just like a support Braum, but like really, really crappy. Like really crappy. I'm going to be putting her in doo-doo tier. Alright, Fizz. Very weird because I do notice that his ult can get bigger, so he can summon like a really big shark to like eat his enemies, but when you ult combo them, the ult is literally a little tiny baby fish. Like, what's the point of that? It's like a goldfish out of a fish bowl. It's, yeah, I don't like that. It is encouraging you to ult from far away, and it's just, that's dumb. Why would you want to ult far away? You want to ult in their face. So, again, Fizz is ewish. I wonder who our next contender will be to actually be put into whatever or above. Because right now, you're not giving me anything, Riot Games. Jesus. Alright, you guys, I just found out about presentation mode, so I'm sorry for burning your eyeballs earlier for the past however much minutes in editing it's been, but, you know, y'all are just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. So now it's like a black screen instead of a white screen, so your eyeballs aren't melting. So, you know what? You should pretty much give me your life insurance just because I saved your life there, okay? Okay. So from where we left off at, we left off at Galio. So let's continue on. Galio is, well, his E is pretty cool. He dashes into them. You know, he looks like a badass while doing it. But his ult, I don't know why you can't target enemies with it, but you can target allies with it. Like, what? Are they trying to make you, like, kill your own champions? Like, what is going on here? It's ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I like Galio, but I just don't get why he targets allies instead of enemies. It's kind of, it removes the thematic of, like, playing him. You should be ulting on the enemies, not allies. And he would actually be, like, kind of a good champion, because that would mean he would have two teleports in his kit. His teleport ability and then his ultimate. But that's not the case. So he's actually Ewish. And you know what? I've realized that being Ewish is actually more, I don't know, well, being a wannabe is more disgusting than being Ewish, in my opinion, and that's why it's more rare. So I decided to bump it up a bit. So we're going to change the colors too, so it doesn't confuse you young folk, you know. I mean, I'm a young folk too, but you know what? Actually, no, I'm not. I'm 180 years in kangaroo years, so I'm actually not that young. I'm pretty old. I'm on my last leg, but that's besides the point. Oh! Gangplank, his barrels literally doesn't do crap. You have to set it up. You have to wait 3 seconds, and during that time, people can kill your barrels, and it's the most annoying thing on the planet. Who can play this guy? Like, literally, who the hell can play this guy and main him or whatever and become an E and ult? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, his ult is nice looking. It's fun. It's like a wannabe Misfortune ult, global. But your barrels just sit there and does nothing, and they can kill it before you activate it. Because you have to sit there and be patient, and then you're going to face people who are impatient, and they're going to kill the barrels before you can hit it. I think he's doo-doo for that reason alone. Garen, he spins around, spin to win! And then he ults people that are low in KSs. And, I mean, that's cool and all. I mean, I don't know. My problem is this is E lasts too long. Like, maybe if you spin, like, 2 times, then that was it. But you have to wait, like, however many seconds, 8 seconds or something of him just spinning around and getting on your nerves. And you have to watch that dumb, silly animation the whole time. Which makes me think he is also pretty, I don't know, I think he's whatever. Because he just, I don't know, he doesn't really have something that just, it's just that he looks dumb to look at. He's just this dumb jock, you know, and it just kind of pisses me off. I don't know. And for that reason, since I've judged others, like, you know, I put people on the negative side for, you know, giving me negative energy, I'm going to put Garen there. Good nar. Good nar. I would say, like, he's very interesting because his E is, he, in his little baby form, he, like, flips on people, and then he can turn into a monster if he's red. And then he has an E in that form where he slams his fist on the ground, and then his ult he shoves. So he's pretty unique, I guess, in that sense. But the thing is he doesn't have a reliable ult. So he is not cool pool. I think he's whatever because, I mean, they're trying to be unique with him, but they didn't give him a reliable source of ulting. Is you have to get pissed first in order to play him. And that's not really healthy, first of all. To, like, getting yourself so worked up while playing a champion just so you can ult is just, it's dumb. Okay, editor's note, since I'm editing currently. Okay, screw that freaking opinion I just made. Did you see how long it took me to record that little segment of him, like, getting rage meter? Like, what is that? That's way too goddamn long! I would put him in disgrace if I could go back in time, okay, guys? So don't listen to me. He's disgraceful! Gragas is so disgusting. But it's like, I mean, his E is like the belly flop, and then he does the barrel that explodes. Well, it's his second barrel that explodes and does more damage and knocks them back. So in general, his E and ult combo is actually decent. It's like whatever. I'd put him in whatever. But because he's just so ugly and disgusting, and what were they thinking, making this fat, drunkard person into League of Legends? It's encouraging alcoholism. I don't know. I think I stand against that. So, no offense to people who are fat. No offense. Oh! To people who like getting drunk a lot. But you know what? It's not my cup of tea. That's for damn sure. Let's get that straight real quick. Okay, Graves, isn't he like gay with Twisted Fate or something? I think they made that official. I don't know. Which, I mean, that's cool, I guess. His E is a dash, and his ult makes him dash back, which is my problem, is why would you... As you know how he, like, dashes forward, and then he ults, he shoots a big bullet, and then it brings him back? Like, he's not even strong enough to hold the damn gun, okay? Like, if he was strong enough, he would not be blown back by the blast. And for that reason, I guess he's whatever. Hecarim's E, he goes in, and then he ults and fears you. Whatever, I don't have nothing to say to him. Broken champ, annoying champ. Like, they should have just made him look like a horse, honestly. Maybe I would like him more. And not in that way. Ew. I just want him to look actually like something to look at, rather than a ugly, spectral little... Okay, Heimerdinger. Okay, so you have... My problem with him is that you can do the grenade and then ult, but then you have to use a different ability. So for that reason, I think he's doo-doo. Because you have to ult and then E, which is a big problem of mine. Silly. And because if you E and then you ult, then your E is going to be on cooldown, and you're forced to either not use your ult or press Q or W. And it's dumb. I don't want to deal with it. Alawi, she like sucks out your soul, and then she like slams her idol thingy on the ground and summons tentacles. I mean, I like her E. Her ult needs some improvement, because if anything, it feels like your W is your main ability, and it's annoying. Ewish. I love Alawi though, but I mean, come on girl. Change that W to your E, and maybe we'll talk then, okay? Irelia. E, she stuns, and then she ults. I actually really like that combo. I think it's cool pool. Irelia is actually pretty friendly to love E and ult players, just because, you know, she's kind of like that, you know, Ionia, Asian, Japanese bitch, you know, and she's actually pretty fun to play. I'm not gonna lie. Irelia's E and ult combo, I like it because you do the little diamond things, and then your ult, you do the blade dance thing, and then it spawns a bunch of blades everywhere, which is really cool. Now, there's two different Irelias, actually, because AP Irelia is Nice Slice. AD Irelia, or normal Irelia, or bland, or tank, whatever you want to call it, is like cool pool. Okay, AP Irelia is much better, in my opinion, because it just makes your E ult way more powerful. Ivern, he shields, and then he summons a little, like, monster bitch. He's just whatever. Like, it's just dumb. Because it wants you, once again, to ult and an E, but it's more relaxed, I think, this time. Because you can E yourself, or an ally, and then ult. And then your E is relatively low, so he's not doo-doo, but he's definitely E-ish. Janna is, I don't know. I mean, she shields people, and then she, like, I guess farts or something, which is kind of gross. But it, like, she does something that, like, passes wind or something to tell everyone to screw off, and they fly away or something, and then she heals her friends with it, which means they're probably into it, which I mean, good for them, but that's not my cup of tea. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't heal me if I saw her in game. I think Janna is, I don't know, it's not as disgusting as Alistar. She might be ewish, like, I don't know. I mean, the fart is kind of gross, but it's like, I mean, it's kind of unique in a sense. It just, I wish it would do damage. I think it doesn't make sense that it doesn't do damage. So I think that's going to be my reason why I put her in Ewish. Jarvan is another E-ish because they expect you to use another ability in the middle of your combo because you E and then you ult. But they want you to E and then Q and then ult. And it's like, no, we're not using our Q for our E's. We're not insane. We're not maniacs. Like, I don't know what is the obsession with you have to use your E in combination with something else with all these champions. It's something I'm really finding out while doing this tier list. A lot of them, they require you or want you to use a different ability, whether that be W or Q, or you have to wait or something in order to use your E. It's just silly. Jax's E and ult is so boring because he just twirls around with the thing, blocks autos, and then he stuns, and then his ult is literally the most like dumbest ult I've ever seen in the whole game. Like, it's actually like so boring. I don't even want to. Yeah, I think he's doo doo. It's almost disturbing how boring it is. Like, he'll put you into a coma when you see Jack's ult. You can't even tell when he ults. To be honest, it doesn't look like he's freaking ulting. Jace, another one of the transformation champs I was talking about, where their ult is they transform and they're going to be put in doo doo because that's not E and ult players can't play them. Because they don't have an actual ult. They can't damage or anything. So, Jace going into doo-doo tier with Elise, and I'm sure, like, when we get to Nidalee, she's going to be in there too. Sadly, I love Nidalee, but, you know, I mean, she's like, sure you can tame me summoner, and it's like, I don't know. It just reminds me of a band I used to know. I really like it. But Jhin, he puts the little traps down. His E and ult has no synergy whatsoever. Like, at all. It's another case of, like, quirky. It's some kind of short range thing. It's a delay thing. Actually, it's worse than quirky. So he's doo-doo. And he's broken on top of that. So screw him. Jinx, traps, and then ults. I actually think Jinx is a way better form of Jhin, actually. Because you can E them and then ult them close range and they'll never expect it. It's kind of like a crappy Ashe. So I think I'm going to put her in whatever. Because they don't really expect it, but it's not, doesn't do that much. Alright, Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa. My problem is this is another, yet again, I mean, are you shocked? Because I sure as hell ain't. They want you to E, well, they want you to W first, and then E and ult, or I think they want to E, W, ult, whatever, but they need you to W or auto them in order to ult to them. And it's just, it's dumb. Stop making these freaking champions. Gosh. Callista defies the logic of E and ulting because you're not assassinating anyone, you're not really fighting. I mean, your E, you have to auto several times with her. And then your ult, you have to have an ally with you when you should be good as hell enough to be able to duel anyone that comes in your way because you're an E and ult main. And Callista, like, she wants you to auto like 500 times and then E, and then your ult encourages you to be with allies, which is just sickening. It's just dumb. In fact, that's doo-doo tier, because I don't want to be with an ally. I mean, I don't mind being with an ally, but I don't, like, in order for me to activate my ult, I have to have an ally around me. Like, I can't 1v1, I can't duel. Like, what's the point of it, you know? Karma's kind of in the same boat as Transformation Champs. And besides, she reminds me of Heimerdinger. Actually, she is basically Heimerdinger because she can shield herself for an ally, and then she ults, and then they expect you to Q or W afterwards. You can't wait for your E while your ult's still going, I'm pretty sure. And even so, you'd have to wait like 8 seconds. That's just too long. That's like a Gangplank situation all over again. Karthus. His E is the thing that is all around him, and his ult is the global target thing. It's not really a combo. You can't really combo with it. But one thing about him is that if you die too quick, like after you E for a while, you can ult. So you can E and then die and then ult. And your E is constantly still going anyway. So he's actually whatever. He's a special case, I think. He might actually even be cool pool, because I like that. You can actually E and then die, and then you can ult still. So yeah, I think he belongs in cool pool tier because I think it's not something you should play seriously, but you can play like in normals. Kassadin, his E is the cone thing, and his ult is the teleport with damage. He's whatever. He might even be you-ish because I don't like how you have to charge up your E. Like people have to like spam crap around you, the enemies and allies. But I am gonna give him a special. Actually, Kaisa is his daughter. Let's put them together. They get just so snug and tight. They're reunited. You know what, Cassian? You're gonna be there with your daughter. You know, I was gonna give you whatever tier, but never mind. I saw your daughter right there. You're welcome. Okay, Kale. E is like an auto tech upgrade, and her ult is like an invulnerability shield that like, and the swords fly up, and then it comes back down and deals damage to everyone around the target. You don't have like no synergy whatsoever. Ewish. Right away. Kane, his E goes through walls, and then we have another case of, wow, you have to auto or Q or W or something in order to ult them. Because if you just E to them, you're just going to look dumb, right? It's dumb, in my opinion. There's no point in him existing, because even when he transforms in like two of his other forms, one of them buffs his E, and then but of course, does no damage, it just looks dumb, and then you can't ult, literally. You have to auto or Q or W or something first, and it's just dumb. I don't have time for that. I want to E and just ult. E, just E, and then just to ult. Kennen, his E makes him run fast, and he ults, which is actually like his combo. Like, I'm pretty darn sure he just wants to run fast and then ult. In fact, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think if he's a wannabe or not, because he looks like an assassin, right? And then he moves really fast. I mean, he doesn't dash, but he moves really fast and then ults like an AoE. I don't know if he's a wannabe or not. I think for now we'll put him in a wannabe tier because I don't like how Diana's the only one there. But if I feel like there's more coming up, I'll probably move him to whatever. Kha'Zix, his E, what does his E do? Is that his jump? I don't remember. So Kha'Zix's E is the jump, and then his ult is literally just he goes invisible. So it doesn't really do much damage at all. His E does barely any damage, and his ult is just he goes invisible. That's really boring. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, he's also a bug, which is disgusting. I'm gonna put him in Ewish. Kindred. Kindred's actually a disgrace. And I know a lot of people are probably shocked to hear that, you know, I bet they're expecting me to put her in Ewish or something, or maybe whatever. But her whole point of her E is to do missing percent health damage. So it's an execute ability. And then if you ult, right, so if you E auto 3 times and then you ult, even though we don't want to auto, first of all, that's disgusting, because we just want to E and ult. But let's just say we did auto 3 times, you're saving the enemy and you're healing them. Like this is a like really crazy version of Cassiopeia here. Cassiopeia pretty much heals her enemies with her E's, right? Because they're so worthless amount of damage. But Kindred E's, and then she literally can save the enemy team. Like, legitimately. And you can't even get kills with her or anything. Like, she just, like, what's the point of her ult then? I bet Kindreds have higher win rates when they don't even put points into their ult. Literally. It's actually disturbing what they've done with that champion. Now, like I said, you know, like Wolf, damn, you know, I mean, top or bottom, you know, like it would be a hard decision, you know. That was in one of my previous Love EandULT video, I think, or was it the one before that? I don't remember, but I was discussing whether the Wolf would I let, you know, top or bottom, and I mean, I like the Wolf, I really do. If he was an Ampho Wolf, would I top or bottom? I don't know. I could go into a 30-minute rant about it, but I'm not. I'm just going to put Kindred in disgrace, and that's final, because I want to kill people, and she does the opposite. Why does she have an execute ability, and then right afterwards, if you try to ult, that saves them? It's ridiculous. I don't like it. Kled's E, he like dashes, and he can ult. Well, his E and ult would be really crappy, wouldn't it? Because you dash through them, and then you ult right there, point blank. It would do absolutely nothing. Yeah, Ewish. It doesn't support that. Kog'Maw, his E, what is his E? He, like, I think ew, he vomits, doesn't he? Ew, vomit play, like, people only play him. It's disgusting. No offense if you're into it. Ew. No! You're gonna make me throw up. I think that's y'all's plans. Whoever's watching this and likes that shit. Ugh! Like I said, no offense. His E and ult combo, I mean, it does make sense because he E's, it slows them down when they're in his little vomit. And then, you know, it makes it easier for him to land his ult, but it's just so disgusting. I'm gonna put him in doo-doo. Okay, that's just disgusting. It's not as bad as Janna. Janna just farts, but like completely vomiting, or like Alistar completely shitting himself. Like, it's disgusting. Get out of here. Alright, LeBlanc is actually a case of supporting E and ULT players. And I know that's shocking because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, she's kind of like Karma or like Heimerdinger where, you know, her ult just upgrades an ability. But you can actually E and ULT with her because it does the chain thing and then it upgrades the chain gain and copies. So you don't press R and then E. You E and then you ult. So you can actually E and ult with LeBlanc, and I'm actually, this champion, they actually did right with like upgraded abilities and stuff. So LeBlanc actually gets into the good side of E and ult. Now, is she higher on the list? No, because it's kind of bland. But because they actually got something right with a champion, I am going to be putting her into cool pool, because that's how you do upgrade champs, okay? Like champions with not really an ultimate, but they upgrade their next ability or whatever it is. Yeah, you should be doing E and ult, not ult and E's, okay? Lee Sin. What is his E again? He like gets mad and like screws up his fist by hitting it on the ground so hard or something. And then he can kick people away. It's not really that great of a combo. It's just, I don't know. At least it does damage. Both hits does damage. So I guess he's in whatever. I don't have much to say about him. Leona. It's just whatever as well. Because, I mean, she goes in and then she stuns you. I mean, Lilia's E, I'm gonna put her in cool pool because I like how you can try to snipe. You basically E and then you try to snipe them and then you can put them to sleep. And you have the option of waking them up or not. You have quite a bit of flexibility there. Now I don't like how she copied Zoe. Totally not speaking as a Kangaroo Zoe main, you know, because that was her thing, sleeping. But besides the point, I think Lily is pretty cool as you know, add skill that you have to like try to snipe them with your E like a bowling ball. Lissandra, I love her E and ult. I really do. I think she's gonna go along with Ashe. I think that's something they do actually get along with. Is that I like how she goes in and then she has the option of ulting herself and doing damage while healing herself and becoming invulnerable, by the way. Or she can ult an enemy and say screw you, screw off, and stun them. And it's just like, I mean, you have a lot of options. Now, I think she deserves like 50 more buffs though. That's just my opinion. But Lissandra, Queen, look at all these like 3 little ice queens over here. Like, damn. They need to make more ice bitches, because apparently that's where it's at. They're kind of hitting the spot with it, you know? Not talking about G-Spot. Alright, Lucian, he dashes, and then he like fires a bunch of shots. It's cool to look at. Wish his, oh my god, what was I talking about? Ass? No. I don't know what I was trying to say. I was gonna say dash, and then I just said ass. Like, damn. No need to be horny kangaroo. Skylaroo, damn. I don't know. I think he's whatever. He doesn't really give me any negative emotions from it or anything. Lulu, she can shield. My problem, I think, with Lulu is that she can decide whether to shield an ally or damage an enemy with her E, or herself. And her ult is you can only cast it on allies or yourself. Like, why can't you ult enemies? That's my problem with Lulu, I think. It's not as bad as Poo Poo, so she's not going to be in doo-doo. But Lulu is, I don't know. I think they screwed up with that. I am going to put her in E-Wish. Lux, E and ult is just boring. It's whatever. She just throws a little, like, the hardest ability to ever whiff while playing them. And then you just ult them with a laser. So, I mean, that's whatever. That's better than, like, queuing them and locking them in place. Like, it gives you a bit more skill, basically saying, you know what, I know where you're going to move to, so I'm going to laser beam you right now. Malphite, like the most worst champion design they've ever made, literally, but that's not what we're talking about. You know, because I love flying mountains in League that say, hey, that's my favorite. Just kidding, that's my freaking hatest. But Malphite, when we're talking about E and ult combo, he like, I think he gets, it's his E where he gets mad and like slams the ground like Lee Sin. And then his ult, he flies and says, hey, when he's a flying mountain. I don't know. I'm like Malphite's so worthless to me that I'm not even gonna look up his E ability. Because there are some that I have had to look up because I didn't remember what their E ability does, like Kha'Zix. I don't know. Malphite's just such a disgusting champion. I think I'm gonna have to have bias and just put him a doo-doo. It's just like, why does he exist? I mean, he kind of looks like doo-doo too. Let's be real. He looks like a mountain that was just like, like mountain goats were all on the mountain and just like decided to take a huge dump all over it. It's just gross to look at and everything. He needs a visual update too. He needs to actually he just needs to be removed from the game in my opinion. But that's just me, I guess. Malzahar, what is your E ability? Let me look. It's the AIDS. Okay. So Malphite's E is the AIDS, and then he ults, which is like a very basic combo for him. It's whatever, it's very boring. Both point and click abilities. And I think Maokai's E is the sapling toss. And his ult is the wall of thingies. I think Maokai is maybe Maokai with that combo is, I think, whatever. It's not too effective as you have to trust the sapling to follow the enemy and actually do things. But honestly, I don't know. It's a very basic combo. I don't mind. Master Yi is just really boring actually. So boring he's gonna be brought down to U-ish. His E just makes his autos do more damage for a short duration, I think, and then his ult makes him move faster and attack faster. Misfortune's E and ult combo is whatever. Actually, no, I actually really like it. Yeah, she's cool pool. I mean, it is whatever because that is her combo. It's just the E and ult. That's her whole purpose in life. But you know what? She looks cool while doing it. She looks badass while doing it. She laughs maniacally. I don't want to pronounce it. Yeah, Misfortune is going to be cool pool because it just looks cool pool. Let's be real. Especially if you're going pool party. Misfortune, and then it's a literal cool pool. Mordekaiser is, I guess, whatever, because he kind of just like... Actually, I don't know. He like forces you to go into his bedroom, which is not very nice. I was gonna put him in whatever, because he like drags you, and then he ults you. And it's like he's like not even asking for your consent. He's just like drags you towards him, and then he's like, "Hey, you're going to my bedroom. Come with me right now. We're gonna party." Like maybe if the champion was like Cardi B or something. I mean, she does do that, doesn't she? Without consent. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Weird champ. Mordekaiser is going to be going into Ewish because consent is cool, and non-consent is yucky. So Morgana, she could shield herself and then ult. I mean, it's boring, but I mean, it's there. She basically just runs that enemy. She can E herself, and then it helps her run at enemies at, like race car speed, and then ult everyone. But the question of her surviving, probably unlikely. But you know what? At least she looked cool while doing it. So she's whatever. Nami, she can E herself for allies. It does bonus damage, bullcrap. Her ult is really nice. But I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, unlike the other Chanter support, she's not gross. Or like doesn't have some weird thing. She just E's and then ults, so. I don't know. It doesn't really do much though. So I guess I am going to put her in Ewish with the other Enchanter supports. Is it just like, if her E did more, maybe I would be like, you know what? I'll put her to whatever. But no, her E doesn't do that much. Nasus, Daddy, I don't know. His E is the circle. And then he just becomes bigger, like a bigger daddy. It's just boring, I don't know. I mean, at least he still does damage around him, so I don't know. He might be... I think he's Ewish. Yeah, it's just like... I mean, his ult doesn't do much. Actually, no, he's doo-doo. Because they made his ult, I forgot. They buffed his ult a long time ago where it reduces your Q cooldown by half. So they're expecting you to Q the entire time of his ult. No siree Bob, you're going to doo-doo. Nautilus, what is his E? Isn't that the like what he like erupts waves around him and then his ult is just he knocks someone up? I mean it's just whatever. Nico E and ult combo is very normal. It's just it's easy to pull off. I think it's just whatever in my opinion. I don't know. It's not really cool pool. I mean I guess it's nice to look at. I don't know. It's something about Nico when you play her. I don't know if it's because she's just so dumb looking and stuff. I mean unlike Lilia, at least she has to like snipe you with her E. Well, hopefully that's how you're using her E. in order to ult and stuff, but it's skill expressive, but Nico's E is just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put Nico in whatever, yeah. Oh, Nidalee, Doo-Doo, we already talked about transformation champ. Sorry, Nidalee, and I can tame you, summoner, so don't ask me that. Nocturne, such an irrelevant champion. What is this little nightmare piece of crap? I don't even know what his E does. Oh, he like tethers you and then fears you. Boring. His ult is a long range dash, so I do like his ult. It's a long range like dash teleport to someone, so but you know, I mean you're gonna have to E them first at close range and then ult them right there, so I think I'm gonna put him in whatever. Yeah. It's just, you know, maybe if his E was a longer like global range or something, I would be more comfortable putting him a bit higher. Nunu. Hate Nunu, love Willimp. I mean, that Willimp has a big, big booty, okay? Like, you know, and I mean, he's basically fostering for the kids, so I mean, like, I could handle with the kids, like, tantrums and, like, wanting to watch Disney on Ice, like, all the time, if I could, you know, smash Willimp all the time, so. I think I will put him in, I don't know, what's his E? He throws a bunch of snowballs and then ults. Eh, doesn't really work as it wants you. Well, actually, no. I'll put him in whatever. Cause I mean, yeah, I know you have to like constantly keep eating to throw a bunch of snowballs, but it's like, I don't know. That does have a unique little twist added to it. So Olaf, I don't know what his E is because he's so boring that no one will remember. Oh, he does the lightning smash thing. Okay. And then his ult just makes him immune to disables, just and expects you to Q and auto and all that. So ewish, in my opinion. Orianna. Ooh, this is a very good pick here. We haven't had a good pick here for quite a while, but Orianna is actually really cool. She's like a really unique version of Morgana. Morgana's a really boring version of her. Because Orianna can shield herself and then go in, and they never expect it because in melee range when the ball's on you, they never expect that you're going to E and ult. So you can just walk up to them, the team fight, and they never expect you to just ult while the ball's on you. They expect you to throw it out. So it's just, it's really, really fun to play as Orianna. So that's definitely a pick you can play if Katarina is somehow banned or you can't pick her or something, just because it's just so skillful to just walk up to them and then ult while your ball's on you. So yeah. Here's an example of a great Orianna E and ULT player named Amy X Moonlight. So take some notes, sit back, and enjoy the clip!
The ball is angry.
Now usually, you know I don't suggest heal. I always suggest ghost and teleport, but did you see that heal? Absolutely wonderful. Next is the flash over the wall. Don't care about that ability either, but damn, she does make it look like a teleport though. And finally, her ult combo. Now, obviously, she did forget to E. That's one of her mistakes here. But as you can see, they were absolutely trembling in fear when they saw her coming in for the ult. Ornn, he does a little crummy dash. It's like a crappy Galio dash, right? Or am I mistaken? I don't know. His ult, I do like how he can E and then ult. So it's a little bit of a unique twist that saves him from Ewish tier. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Nunu and Ornn both deserve Cool Pool. Because they add a unique twist out of all these. Yeah, I'm going to put Nunu and, well, Willimp specifically, and Ornn into Cool Pool tier. Oh, Lee Sin, doesn't he E and E as well? But his is just really underwhelming, doesn't it? Yeah, his double E is really underwhelming, so he could just screw off somewhere. I don't really care. Pantheon, he shields, he does damage with his E, and then his ult is really hard to pull off because he has to sit there, charge, and fly. But they never expect that you're going to go over there. Like if you E and then ult, they're probably going to think that you're teleporting away, and then you catch them off guard and hit them. So he's going to go in whatever tier. Gotta do like that tactic of him, but otherwise, like most of the times, it just will not work. It has like a maybe 5% success rate. It's just, it's not worth it. Poppy is another cool pool champ because your E, you have two, you can E into them face first, you could E to them into a wall, or, and then with your ult, you can either tap it and it knocks them up and does some damage, or you can literally tell them to fuck off out of my life, you're kingophobic, I hate you, you're not E and ULT friendly, you're not kangaroo friendly, why do you exist? Just die! And you make them fling off somewhere where they don't want to go. It's like forcing them to go on a vacation. It is just like, you know, and some people in League definitely need that, let's be real. So I like that concept of Poppy. I think she's a cool pool champ. Pike, E ult, boring, it's whatever, he's like the most broken creation they've ever made, really, but like, you know, we're not talking about that kind of tier list. We are talking about E and ult combo. Very boring. You just E into them and then ult, so whatever. Kiana is actually cool pool because it's very skillful to aim your ult, right? So if you E and then you can like try to like ult them into the wall, or you try to ult them into the water or the bushes or whatever, you have to like aim your ult correctly. Now one thing I wish, if they could just make her ult initially when she knocks them back, do damage. Like maybe take 50% of their health or something. Just a suggestion. Something like that, and then, you know, like just have the stun on the side if you like push them into something. Like, that would be really nice. Quinn is like a crappy case of Pantheon because she's an E and then she's an ult. And they're going to think you're really dumb and they're just going to kill you more so often than Pantheon while you're trying to get onto the bird. And then, not to mention her ult, like, when she, like, gets off of Valor, she does a little tiny, like, literally, she turns into a minion to, like, summon a lot of arrows from the sky, and it does literally nothing. So, ewish. I don't think she's doo-doo, though. Definitely more viable than most of these champions down here, but it's just, like, you're just gonna die too much with her. So, Rakan, you E to an ally, and you can E again, which kind of makes him cool pool. His ult charms. If we just consider his E and ult, he's cool pool. Now, if this is like a full blown tier list, you know, considering all of his abilities, which we're E and ult players, he would definitely be towards the bottom. His just, you know, his stuff just makes him more of a pussy. But I do like that you E and then ult, and then you can E again if you so choose, you know, or E ult. Rammus, I don't even know what his abilities are. Like, literally. Who the heck is this champion? This is the second worst champion design they made. It's a freaking armadillo. Next to a mountain that flies and says, hey, if you can't guess who that already is that we covered. Oh, his E is the taunt and his ult is Earthquake. Literally. It's like a really crappy Pokemon. So boring. Like, that's such a boring combo that I think that just makes him, I don't know, maybe doo-doo. Just because plus his champion design is just whack. Yeah, Malphite's there too, and Jax is like worthless abilities. Rek'Sai, her E is the tunnel, and then her ult. Now that's another one where they expect you to do something before you ult. So they want you to E and then auto Q or W, whatever, and then ult. And we don't like that here. So I think she's ewish because they really do expect you to be doing that. Rel is relatively new, huh? Her E, what is her E? Doesn't she have to like E an ally and then wait and then E again to stun people? And she has to have an ally near her, so that automatically makes her doo-doo as long as with Callisto because you can't E by yourself. So no point in playing her. And also, oh yeah, her ult is like the worst, most worthless ult I've ever played. Like, real talk. Her ult is just so worthless. It's disturbing. Like, it's actually, like no joke here. I'm actually being serious. Like, that is the first champion I've played and pressed R and was like, wow, that is the most dumbest ult I think I've ever seen. Because it does absolutely nothing. They walk out of it like it's nothing. Renekton, oh my god, time for incest. I'm kidding. I mean, kinda. Yeah. Renekton's E, he can dash, ult. Oh, damn, he's actually cool pool. Because unlike Nasus, he dashes in, he like ults, and he's like, yeah, I got that big booty, big dick, and then he can dash away or dash even further into the team. So he's just like a way better, more show-off version of Nasus. Nasus is more of like a shy top, whereas Renekton is a very like, you know, out going bottom. Like, damn, he's showing everyone, you know? He goes in, he enlarges himself, and he's like, oh yeah, you want this? Come chase me. He's like a better version of Ari, you know? So I'm actually going to put him into Cool Pool. I think he would be nice to play sometimes. Rengar, what is his dumb E? I think his E is the root thing, and then his ult. It wouldn't make sense. It's U-ish. Because, again, E and then U ult, and it's going to be kind of like complicated. Because he just throws a bola at you and then turns invisible. And either runs away or runs at you again. And it's just like, eh. Riven is, I think, Cool Pool. Because you can E and then ult, and then you can ult again. So I just wish her E would do damage. I wish her, like Kiana for example, I wish her, when she first activates her R, it would stun people around her or something, and then her R, second R does more damage. I'm actually complaining quite a bit, ain't I? Maybe she's whatever, as I do like the variety of mixing it up. I'm gonna put her in Cool Pool for now. Rumble. Doesn't he throw like little rocket things, like scrap metal rockets that probably have like tetanus in it? Yeah, and he can do that like 2 times. So he can E and then E again. And then his ult is really, really hard to land, like line of rockets. I don't know. I mean, I like how he can E and then his ult is pretty unique. But it's just like, I don't know. He's giving me anxiety. So I'm going to put him in whatever. He's really giving me too much anxiety just by staring at him. Like, look at him. He's judging me. And I just don't want to deal with it. Alright, Rise. His E has a little ball that like bounces to other balls and other minions and stuff, which is pretty nice, but it expects you to obviously Q or W to proc it off again. So yeah, don't like that. And then his ult doesn't do damage for some reason, so I don't understand the point of like ulting into them. I mean, I'll know it's a teleport, but it's like you're teleporting with this AoE around you, and yet it doesn't like explode with damage. I'm gonna put him in doo-doo. Samira, Desert Rose Samira. Do I have a word with your recently new ass? Disgrace. I know a lot of people are like, why not wannabe? Because a lot of people say she's an AD version of Katarina, and you know she has similar combos. You know she E's onto them and then ults, but it's like no, she doesn't actually do that because, okay, first of all, if that was the case, Samira would definitely be a wannabe. But what makes her go into doo-doo and all the way down to disgrace is that you E and then you can't ult. You have to Q and then W and then auto Q, W auto Q, auto Q, auto Q, auto in order to ult. And it's like no one has time for that. Like it is, this champion is the hardest to E and ult with because you have to literally, instead of like maybe like Callisto where you can auto one time and then E, or you know have a condition of, oh, I can ult with an ally, I can press R immediately as long as an ally is there. This bitch, you have to do it like 6 times. You have to like, it's just too much work. You know, in fact, you can't even do the same thing 6 times in a row. You have to like mix it up, like auto Q, auto W, wait a second, auto. It's just, it's way too much. It's too complicated. And obviously they were trying to rip off a bit out of Katarina, but they really screwed up. And I'm actually kind of glad because that's one less wannabe champion I have to worry about. So whatever, you know, Samira, you can keep on eating, but guess what you ain't doing? You're not ulting afterwards, bitch. Oh, gosh, I don't know, what are they even thinking? Sejuani doo-doo because her E, you have to proc it with your other abilities, I'm pretty sure. So they expect you to like, you know, E, W, and your allies have to do something in order to E. It's just to stun them. Just give me a break. Senna's E and ult combo is very underwhelming. Her E doesn't do damage to people that enter it for some reason, which I think would make sense. Her ult's a global spell, damage and shields. So I think that saves her from doo-doo. I just wish her E would actually do damage. Seraphine's E. Well, she has 2 different versions. So she can upgrade, she has her basic E, and then she can upgrade her E, which is decent. I will give her that. But then again, and if you, at the current moment, want to E and ult, you're going to have to use your Q and W. You're forced to in order to get the E proc. But then again, you can save it over time and go E, and then you E, and then you E, and you know, and then you'll have your upgraded E again. So I don't know. I think that all saves her, and her ult is, you know, yes! So I think that saves her from Ewish as well, because I was going to put her in doo-doo. I really was. And then I was like, you know what? She can double E, you know, she can save it up and stuff. She doesn't have to use her Q and W. And then, you know, her ult doing, you know, that really random, funny, silly sound effect. Yeah, I decided that she goes into whatever. Said, you drag them into you and then you ult them away. Boring. Shaco, E is your... Ew, he has that point and click, like, thing, and then you, like, confuse the enemy with the clone or something. I don't know, the point and click makes it boring. Maybe if it was a skill shot, maybe. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, it just takes too much effort to, like, it's so easy to tell which one's a clone and which one's not anymore, that it's just not even worth playing him or anything. Shin, you taunt, and then ult. That's a really big, like, fuck you. Because especially that he's a tank. He might actually be a cool pool tank. Because what I'm thinking here is that, you know, his usually Shins go tank, right? And this might be your, like, tank pick or something. Because you can E, and then you can ult away. You can be like, yeah, you're taunted. You're not going to do anything about it because you're just autoing me. So I'm out of here. So for that, you know, Shin giving the middle finger like that to probably people who deserve it is definitely going to be cool pool. Shyvana, her E does the magic damage crap, and her ult transforms her into an anorexic dragon, which is offensive. No dragon should be anorexic. Like, literally, like, I mean, it's offensive. Dragons are all supposed to be thick and plump, and they're supposed to, you know, no matter what kind of dragon it is, it's just supposed to have a lot of stuff on them, you know, a lot of meat and everything. This bitch hasn't ate for, like, 6 months now. It's pathetic. It's actually really sad. It's sad for Riot to make her that malnourished. And also, if I were to E and ult with Shyvana, I would be supporting AP Shyvana builds. Guess what? Justice for AD Shyvana. So we are going to be putting her in doo-doo for that reason, because I don't like AP Shyvana. It's disgusting, it's boring, it's broken, no one wants that. Everyone wants AD Shyvana back, okay? Stop buffing AP Shyvana, please. Singe, he flips you. I like his laughter, so he flips you and then laughs at you, and then his ult just makes him faster. So, I don't know, he's like a really troll version of, like, I don't know, someone. He's like a really, really troll version. He kind of like costs you the game, kind of. But it's just like, I don't know. I like how he, like, if he didn't have his laughter on his E, I would put him into U-ish. But because of him flipping you over, screwing you over, and then laughing at you, that's kind of funny. Even though they do kind of expect you to Q, like, but it's not required. It's not an activation thing going on. It's not required to put your W behind you or Q. You can still just E and run away with your ult. Like, that's just how it is. Scion, you could yell at people and then ult full force to them, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't like yellers and screamers and stuff, which he does quite a lot, but you can shout at someone and then ult into them, and they don't really expect you to ulting such a close range. So I'm actually going to put him in whatever as well. Sivir. She shields herself, and then she gets really fast. I'm actually gonna, this might surprise a lot of people because it just sounds boring because her E doesn't do damage and her ult doesn't do damage. It's just that you become so fast that it just puts a lot of people off guard. They don't know what to do. Even if you're like running around them and stuff or try to teleport, they honestly, they have no idea what to do. They don't expect Sivir to be crazy acting like that. So she's actually definitely a pick you can like mess around with, kind of like Singe, like if you want to play her like in normals or like bot games or something. Because like no one's just, like everyone's just so confused when they see a Sivir act like that. And I mean in general, people are confused when they see a Sivir at all. But you know, I don't know, something about Sivir and the way she E's and ults and like screams when she gives everyone movement speed. It's just, I don't know, something satisfying about it. So I am going to be putting her in cool pool. Skarner, E for his icicle, and then auto stuns, ult, point and click, boring. His E also doesn't stun unless you're forced to auto, so E-ish, and he also looks E-ish. Sona, movement speed, so she could speed herself up, and then ult to stun. Again, kind of with Sivir, it just looks so dumb, and it has a sound effect. It's not as bad as Seraphine, because Seraphine has, like, you know, has to charge up or stuff, but, like, you know, Sona can just speed herself up and then ult, and she just looks ridiculous while doing it, but ridiculous in a good way. So, and they don't really expect that either. Like, the most squishiest champion in the game going to, like, run up to them and stun them. It's something about it. Soraka, she silences and then she wishes, like, ults. I don't know. At least her E does damage, but I think her ult should target enemies as well to damage them. Yeah, and her ult, like, if it had a charge time, it'd be more impactful, you know? But it doesn't. She just kind of, like, immediately does it. It's just boring. Boring to look at and to watch. Swain, he can E, and then if it hits you with the explosion on its way back, he has to right click you to bring him to you, which automatically kind of makes him doo-doo. And then his ult, you have to like wait to charge it up, or it does absolutely nothing. So doo-doo for sure. Silas, he can, actually I think he's a cool pool, because he can E, actually no, he's actually nice slice, because Silas can E, and then he E's again, right? And then he literally steals the person's ult. And then uses their own ult against them as a big fuck you. It's just wonderful. It's actually a masterpiece. I'm really glad what they've done with Silas. But it also depends on who you're facing. That's my only problem with him, because I think that's what's making him instead of good picks here. He's that nice slice, because it all determines on who you're facing. Because what if you're facing someone with a horrible ult that's down here, like Jace or something? It affects Silas's gameplay then. So that does not make him a good pick here at all, because you kind of are relying on facing someone who's like whatever and above, really, to have a good experience with E and ulting. Otherwise, your E and ulting, if you pick someone in E-ish and below, it's just going to be 9 times out of 10 a bad time. Syndra, her E, she stuns and then she, or like knocks people back and then ults. It's just, I don't know. They do expect you to Q a lot, but it's not required, like I said. You could still E and ult. It's whatever. I'll put it there. Tom Kinch. What is his E? I think his E is just to shield himself, but you have to take damage. And then your ult is like a teleport far away. If it was more like Shin, where he does something and deals damage to you and was like, haha, bye losers, catch me if you can. You know, if he did something like that, he would be definitely like, even maybe like whatever, even at most, like cool pull. But his just E doesn't do anything. Plus his ult is just like barely usable. It puts him into definitely, I think, doo-doo, because it's just a really, really crappy version of Shin. Talia, she puts rocks on the ground and then she summons a bigger rock to ride on. It looks absolutely really cool. People don't understand what you're doing if you're like ing and then you ult in the direction of where they are. They just don't understand. Yeah, I think Talia is definitely a cool pool champ. I know a lot of people are getting probably really shocked right now at the last few entries of Cool Pool. And maybe even comparing to picks that I've picked that I didn't put in there. But it's just like, I don't know, it's some champions like Sivir, Sona, and Talia, they just don't. They have that really mysterious factor. They look cool while doing it. They look really dumb while doing it, but in a good way. And ridiculous while doing it in a good way. I don't know, it's just something about them that is going to be making them able to go to Cool Pool tier. Talon, his E's to dash over the wall and his ult's invisibility. It's just boring. E doesn't do damage. His ult does little damage. Oh, and it wants you to auto them, doesn't it? For it to collapse on him. I think he is E-ish though, because, I don't know. I don't like how you're forced to auto with him. Tarek, his E, you can E by yourself, so that's already better than Rel. And you can't ult by yourself, which is already way better than Rel because he actually has an ult. I am going to put him in whatever, I think. I think he makes it to whatever because he can E and then ult and they can't do damage to him at all. So it's whatever. Even though his ult doesn't do damage to enemies, which is sad, but Teemo E just does damage over time in this room. It's just a horrible combo. You can't do anything with it. Your E's not even an activatable ability. You're supposed to auto them, which is requiring you to do in order to activate your E, or like your E to have any effect at all. And then your ult, you know, you have to place it, you have to predict that they're even gonna like right before they get into the shroom. It's just boring. It's dumb. I don't like it. Fresh, he has his flay, knocks people away or towards him. I like the options there. Where you could do that, and then his ult like makes like a circle or octagon around him, whatever shape it is. Pentagon, I don't care. I don't care about dumb shapes. But Fresh does that, I guess. He's just whatever, I guess. I don't feel anything for him. Tristana, she does have the really big bombs. She can ult people away. Actually, yeah, she's a cool pool champ because I like how she places a bomb onto them and then, you know, ults them away. Like, it's like, okay, good luck with that. I'll see you later. You know, that's just, it's fun. I like it. That's a fun concept. I think I'm confident with my choice in that matter. Trundle, his E is the ice pillar thing, which is just whatever in itself. Doesn't do damage for some reason, but can knock them up. His ult's really boring, makes him U-ish. Yep. Tryndamere E, he spins and then he's invulnerable. He's like a really boring version of Tarek. Yeah. You-ish. Twisted Fate, his E, you have to auto in order to activate it, and then your ult is a teleport. I think he's still doo-doo, just because you have to auto. It's making you have to auto in order to use his E to any effect. And then your ult is just, I don't know, takes time to do it. And I mean, you already have teleport anyway, so it's like, I don't know, kind of a waste. Twitch, the musky rat, his E, again, you have to auto. And his ult, you have to auto in order to E, like in order to use your E, you have to auto them or use abilities. His W specifically. And then your ult, you have to auto them. So, dude here is just fucking random, like doo-doo immediately. Like, two forms, like really? I mean, you just switch between forms. He's like a really, really crappy transformation champ. Holy crap. Give me a break. Like, I'm already getting a headache just from looking at him. And thinking about his forms and guessing which one's which. It doesn't matter which form is which on E&O. I'm not even gonna look it up. He's that worthless to me. He's irrelevant because it's just like, it doesn't matter what form is on his E and ult because, quite honestly, it doesn't impact him at all. He's still really crappy for E and ult players. Urgot, I think, is whatever because he can E people and then like pick them up and throw them behind him, and then he can ult them with a missile to the face, which is pretty cool. Varus, E ult boring, but at least both of them does damage. I will say that I think AP Varus is probably better though. Vayne, you E and then I don't know, it's dumb. I think it's you-ish because you knock them back. It's kind of like Poppy where you can knock them back and stun if if they hit the wall. But then her ult just makes her stand there and get a bigger crossbow. And then they also expect you to auto with that, but it's not required. It's just, it makes you look like a sitting duck, you know? It's not worth my time. Vhagar, E and ult combo, very basic, very boring, because basically you don't have to Q and W. In fact, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to put a point to those abilities. Just E and ult, there you go, you get like 50 kills. Yeah, boring. Vel'Koz, E and ult, another one who's just a really boring combo where you just E and ult. I mean, that's just what you do. Viego is definitely a wannabe for one reason, because if he's facing a E and ult player like Katarina, if he turns into Katarina, all he could do is E. So he's literally just a wannabe version of Katarina in that sense, you know. And even if you play him, I mean, you're just a wannabe version of literally everyone that you touch. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think Viego's definitely, the newest champion of League of Legends is definitely a wannabe. Like, the biggest wannabe, actually, of them all, because that's all he does. He turns into people, and he's a wannabe versions of them. So, because he can't use their ult. Victor, he does the laser beam. You have to get an item to upgrade it, I think, or something. And his ult's a storm. Follows. I think he's whatever. Vi, she, like, slams you with her fist or whatever. Does the AoE thing, and then she can like knock you up and stuff. I guess like where Urgot is. Yeah. Whatever. We're speedrunning this now, baby. We got this in the bag. Vladimir, ew, he's disgusting. He's like blood play people. Ew. No offense if you're into it, but like, ew. And he reminds me of the nosebleed I had this morning for no reason, so I'm putting him into doo-doo. But real talk though, his E is just like, you have to wait and do it. Just eh. And then his ult, you have to wait for it to pop off. It's just, yeah, he's doo-doo for sure. Volibear, Power Bottom. I don't know, he does a lightning strike and then I guess he jumps to where that lightning is with his ult. So, I don't know. He might be cool pull, and that's not even like bias. It's just that it looks nice. He is a Power Bottom. He is nice. I think he is in cool pull, and there's no bias there, I swear. Okay? Now we're about to get to someone who I am biased with, so we'll handle that in a second. But I don't know, he does a cool lightning strike and then he can jump to where that is. Yeah, and he becomes bigger, has a bigger ass and stuff. So I mean that's quite nice. Damn, I need to stop talking sexual about these champions. Damn, like crap. I just ain't that kind of tier list. Now Warwick, another one where he's basically my husband. Now he is actually going to be biased, and I am going to be putting him into Nice Slice. Because if I don't, he will get really angry, like an angry Warwick, and really rail me hard. And you know what? Sometimes I'm in the mood for that. But right now, I just want to have a romantic, calm time with Warwick. I don't want to get railed. So I am going to be nice to him, you know, like I know he might be watching this video and He might be like, he was gonna put me in Ewish or whatever. I'm not special, the purple kangaroo. And then he gets pissed and then really like rails me down. I won't be able to walk for like ever, like in fact. So, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Getting absolutely screwed up, but like right now, no, I just want a romantic, nice night with Warwick. So I am going to be putting him into nice lice. Wukong, monkey. I don't know, his E and ULT combo is very basic, but he's just a monkey. Like, he's like monkey see, monkey eat shit. So it kind of makes me want to put him in doo-doo, but I won't be biased or whatever it's called, whatever that would be called, what I just said. So I am going to be putting him into whatever category, because his E and ULT is just very basic combo. Zaya, doo-doo, because they want you to auto and Q and all that kind of stuff, and then E, or they want you to ult and then E. It's just, no, you want to E and ult, and you can't even use her E if you don't have the feathers on the ground. So, nope. Zeref E and ult makes you vulnerable and stuff. I'm gonna put him into U-ish. His E's is very short time stun if they're like close to you, and then I mean, while you're ulting them, they're gonna kill you, and it's just not that fair, to be honest. Then Zhao, he dashes to you and ults you away and then becomes vulnerable to ranged attacks. I know that. Whatever, boing. Yasuo, he dashes, but then again, he's crappy because he requires someone to knock people up. Or you have to like use your tornado Q, which is just dumb. Definitely doo-doo. I mean, I think we can all agree. I think no matter what tier list it is, he belongs in doo-doo. Okay? Yon, or Yone, or Yoni. I mean, I guess it's Yoni. It's one of those three, but you know what? We're gonna say Yoni, because it just sounds funnier. And I like making fun of Yasuo's bullcrap family. But, his E makes him go in and then ults, but it forces him to come back, so I'm going to press E-ish, because what if you're in a situation where you don't want to go back to where you started? Whether that be in life or just pressing the ability, you don't want to, and you're just forced to. It forces you to go back unless the enemy kills you. So you would have to actually let the enemy kill you in order to go back. So, yeah, E-ish for sure. Yorick, he like summons like ghosts, semen, whatever on you. I don't know what it is, but it's just weird. And then it's like hormones or like pheromones or something that he's throwing, because then his little ghouls and monsters are like, oh, yummy, let me pick it up. And you see them jump and stuff at them. I think his E and ult combo, especially where his ult doesn't really do much except push a lane, it's just like whatever. It's just you-ish. Yumi. Now, Yumi, gosh, where do I even put this pussy? Literally. Her E, she heals herself or heals whoever she's attached to. And when she's not attached to someone, so you're basically forced to attach to someone or you just die, you get one-shotted. Her ult is just a wannabe version of Sona. Makes me want to put her in wannabe version, because she literally is a wannabe version of Sona. And Seraphine is too, but at least Seraphine is just more funner to play, to be honest. I think I think Dudu is she's next to Yasuo, which is a pretty fair placement, I think. Zac, E and ult combo, very, like, basic. I mean, that's just what you do with him. Zed, E and ult, doesn't really make much sense. Your ult doesn't do damage until you have to wait, which is boring. And is also encouraging you to auto and Q and stuff to increase it. So that's a no-no for me. A no-no. I said no. If there's snakes in the grass, I'm gonna cut the lawn. Not singing a song or anything, referencing someone. I mean, you already know if you know, but if you don't, then you don't know. Diggs, E and ult. Ewish. Dillion, you speed up someone and then revive them, which is just boring. And it doesn't do damage. Ewish. Zoe, no, I love Zoe. I mean, no, I don't, because I'm a Katarina, main. I don't love Zoe at all, of course. I don't play her at all. I don't have 400,000 mastery points on her. I'm not one of the best Zoes in the world. No way. So her E and ult combo is kind of silly, because you put them to sleep, and then while your ult just makes you, like, do a raspberry or whatever it's called, like kids do, onto them, or lick an ice cream, and it doesn't do anything. So maybe if her E and ult would her ult would actually like do damage, and she does that, it would be something to consider. But since just her plain E and ult is just kind of like, I'm gonna put her in E-ish. It's nice that you taunt the enemy, but after they wake up, they're going to be killing your ass. And our last champion, Zyra, Her E and ult combo, her E is very hard to hit, to be honest, out of all the, like, snare throwing bits. But anyway, I think she's just, yeah, I think it's whatever because it's just basic combo. Yeah, I think that's our tier list, so that's pretty much it. That is the last champion. Zyra is the last champion, alphabetically speaking, to be placed, and we just placed her, so. Woo! Alrighty, you guys, we have made it to almost the end of the video. Before we end it here, and I know it's been like pretty much a movie, so obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have enjoyed it if you've made it this far. You know what to do. Am I going to remind you? Maybe in a bit. But, you know, we have some patch notes already to my tier list. Because, and the main reason for this is because I went to practice tool, E and ult comboed with each champion separately. That's what the little clips are on the bottom right. The purple border and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I did that after I judged every champion separately. And maybe I should have done the reverse order. But I've learned some things from certain champions. I've made up my mind on certain champions. So we are going to be reevaluating some of them and changing their placements. As you just saw me moving there, Ashe is from Nice Slice getting buffed to good picks here. And we're going to start with the good news first, all the buffs. Irelia is, and I'm only talking about AP Irelia, obviously. So AP Irelia, I'm going to put her in Nice Slice so there's more people in Nice Slice anyway, to be more balanced and stuff. I mean, I said I was only talking about AP Relay, which it's true. Carthus is also going to be moved to Nice Slice. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Yeah, right there. Okay, so Carthus is getting buffed from Cool Pool to Nice Slice because of his death mechanic. I think separates him uniqueness-wise from everyone, which is really good. We have LeBlanc, Kiana, and Misfortune all getting buffed to Nice Slice, since they are definitely on their own level of funness and uniqueness out of all these champions here. So they're pretty much the best of the bunch, including with AP Irelia and Carthus and stuff. Those 5 are definitely the best of these tier. I'm buffing them to Nice Slice. Next we have Lucian is getting buffed to Cool Pool, which I know is pretty shocking, but if you remember the clip that I attached with him, he can actually ult while teleporting, which is a very unique little niche thing that actually buffed him from whatever to Cool Pool. Unlike Misfortune cannot teleport while ulting, right? But Lucian actually can. So he went from kind of like a boring-ish champion to actually pretty cool because of that one little mechanic they added onto him randomly that I probably am the first one to discover. Zen Shao actually, believe it or not, where is he? He actually gets buffed to Cool Pool. And I know that's kind of surprising as well because he is pretty boring, but it's the fact that when I tested him, I'm pretty sure his E and ult combo is the fastest E and ult combo of any of these champions. So that in of itself, even if he's a boring piece of crap, he deserves an award for best effort and honestly giving me the least amount of time to work with and deal with. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure I was shocked when I E and ulted with him. It took me like 3 seconds, 4 seconds to record it. You know, compared to everyone else, which was around like 8 to 12 seconds. So yeah. He's going to be buffed to Cool Pool. Seraphine is going to be buffed to Cool Pool as well. Mostly, I mean, I guess you can kind of guess with the Sona stuff. You know, I like her ult song and, you know, her ult, the yes! I don't know, her different variations of E and stuff, with she can E once or E twice as an upgrade. So yeah, I am going to be buffing her to Cool Pool, and I think I judged her a bit too harshly. Now, someone that I really judged harshly, where is she? Rek'Sai. Yeah, Rek'Sai, moving to whatever. I judged her way too harshly, and I was really deal because when I played her in the practice tool, you could actually E. I thought her E was only the tunnel, and I forgot she had a different ability when she was not burrowed. And she can E and ult that way, so she's just kind of whatever, I guess. But we are buffing her to whatever. Now, someone that we know. Where is this little tiny little midget ass? Okay, I already moved him because I was so pissed and I came back. So I don't remember where I placed him. It was, I guess, you-ish probably, or doo-doo. I don't remember, but he's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. He's a freaking disgrace. Absolutely horrible. That was the most recording out of any of these champions combined. Honestly, it was just, it was tedious. It was too ridiculous. The rage meter is very retarded. So yeah, you already know my stance on that if you watched that funny clip, which I suggest you to go back and do. Fizz is actually going from you-ish, going to be a wannabe. And a lot of the reason for that is because he is an AP assassin like Katarina. His ease and mobility spell, like Katarina, he likes to go in with it and stuff. I mean, he uses it to be a little bitch too, but you know. He has burst damage, he has AoE damage with his ult. So yeah, I'm going to move him to wannabe. And surprisingly, wannabe is our most, well, good picks here, and wannabe are our rarest tiers. Now, we have Wukong, who's at neutral. I am nerfing him all the way to doo-doo. All the way. QRS, DUV. And the reason for this is not really his E and ULT combo. His E and ULT combo is whatever, but I'm so sick of freaking Wukong. He's in every single game. Every MOBA, every shooting game, there's always a soon Wukong bullcrap. It's dumb. Stop making this dumb monkey. Delete him. Seriously, he's in every single game. The only game he makes sense to be in is Smite, literally, because he's freaking trickster monkey god bullcrap. Okay, like that's the only game that needs him in it. Okay, every other game he could screw off with. They need to stop making cameos with him and fire him already. I'm sick of it. Yi, I judge way too leniently. Is the word, I guess, like way too leniently. Yeah, I don't know why I put him in Ewish when like Jax and the likes of him are over here. He's very extremely way too boring of an E and ULT. So yeah, we're going to be nerfing him to there. We have Graves. We are going to be nerfing him to Ewish because, as I was describing on when it was his time to shine, that he is very ashamed of E and ulting because, you know, I mean, it's not as bad as, you know, like Echo and stuff and Evelyn, but it's just a slight, like, he goes in and then he ults and then he puts himself back and he's too weak to hold the damn gun. Just exactly word from word what I said, probably. Rakan, because of how I judged Rel. Rakan is cool pool. I'm actually going to be nerfing him to, I guess whatever, I guess, is where I'm going to put him at. I don't know what my thought process of me doing that was. I wrote it down that Rakan needs to be changed and put to somewhere. Actually, I was going to put him in Ewish, apparently. That's what my notes say. But I am going to be adding him to whatever. Honestly, I don't remember the reason why. I'll probably remember after I upload the video or some crap. What is his even name? Oh, Rakan. Yeah, I almost forgot. And our last one is Riven. She's at Cool Pool, and she needs to be in whatever. So pretty much right next to Rakan. Literally. Yeah, pretty much that's all the balance changes I think I want to do, you know, before I start. I mean, I'm probably going to start looking at, you know, there's going to be something else that catches my eye and it's going to bother me after I upload it or something. But actually, in fact, I see one right now that I forgot to mention. Yasuo is going to disgrace his, if you remember, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, that he took forever to charge up his Qs. It's forcing you to Q all the time, by the way. You have to Q in order to ult. You have to, or rely on someone else to do it for you, which is like Callista all over again. It's ridiculous, you know, and I don't think many people will even, I mean, I bet a lot of people are like applauding me for putting him in a disgrace tier. I don't think it matters whatever tier list it is. I bet people, like, you know, would like take off their panties for anyone that puts Yasuo in the worst tier, to be honest. He just deserves the worst tier in every single tier list, let's be real. So yeah, a little tiny update for that, I guess, that I, you know, forgot to mention. Yeah, so this is the final tier list for this. And you know, maybe one day I'll come back, you know, maybe when there's like 10 champions they added or something, or reworks and stuff, like maybe 10 total, and I'll judge each one of them and give an analysis or something. I'm not really sure. I'd rather wait till there's like 50 more champions, which might take like 10 years. So I'll probably see you then with the sequel to this video. So that's the tier list, you know, take a screenshot, pretty much only pick, I mean, obviously if you can't pick Katarina, good picks here. If you don't want to play those, there's a nice slice. And then if you're playing intro bots or normals or ARAM or something, you can pick cool pool champs. Everyone else can screw off and die, okay? If you enjoyed this video or any of my content, then please, please think about liking this video for a kangaroo. And if you want to become a Joey today, make sure to subscribe, comment, you know, if you have any disagreements whatsoever, or, you know, you're definitely in support of some of these decisions that I've made and you really want to voice your opinion, make sure to do that, because I'm actually quite interested to hear y'all's opinion. Like maybe maybe y'all think that I listed someone wrong or incorrectly or it should be placed somewhere else or something. You know, then let me know definitely in the comments below. You know, and I will see it to be maybe changed if you actually give me a convincing argument. Because if you're being a little bullcrapper, guess what? You know, whoever you're probably complaining about is probably going to be in doo-doo or stay in doo-doo. But otherwise, yeah, I love you guys. Ring the bell if you want dinner notifications, you know, when your yummy grass meal's ready. Toodles, you guys!